talk about Logan Paul and KSI for a second here. Logan Schmall and Schmaeus Schmai. Logan Schmall and Schmaeus Schmai. Now guess what, folks? I've said this before, and I'll say it again, and I've said it before, and I've said it again, and I keep saying that. But I never thought I would turn into somewhat of a fan of Logan Paul. I'm enjoying his content now. The guy has changed from what he used to be. We all know what he did. You know, I don't have to mention what the fuck he did, because I'm sure he doesn't want that anymore. You know, besides the thing that you're actually thinking about right now that he did, there's other things that he did, but that's in the past, because people change. No one likes to accept the change anymore. They want, as soon as something controversial arises, people are like, okay, end his career, end him, I don't want him anymore, or her. Get him off the platform. But no, he survived. He moved past it, and he seems like a pretty cool dude now. He seems pretty decent. Although I don't know him in person. I just know him from mostly his podcast, Impulsive, which if you haven't checked that out, I actually recommend it. I actually do. Never thought I'd say that, but check out just check out the Impulsive podcast. They claim it's the #1 podcast in the world, which they're obviously just saying that, but it's good. I like it. He's not being a big goofball showboater in the podcast. He's just being himself, and he asks decent questions sometimes. Sometimes he doesn't say much, but sometimes he does. And Mike, the other guy on the show, his best friend, he's actually pretty cool as well. Why isn't this... Oh. And the thing about him, though, is that he constantly talks. He doesn't stop talking, that Mike fella. But that's fine. That's what you need on a poop cast, right? You need to constantly spit words out your mouth. So last year, I think it was, maybe a year and a half ago, something like that, KSI and Logan had a boxing match, and it was amateur hour. Big time. But they did it, and it turned out to be a draw, and they had headgear and something else, some other type of glove. I'm not a boxing, fanatic. Like I've gotten into it simply through Joe Rogan, mostly UFC, but boxing as well. So I know a tiny sliver of it, but not a lot. But you could tell just by watching that it was amateur hour. They obviously didn't know what they were doing, just comparing it to other boxers. But now they've been training for a year steady, and they are both classified as professional boxers now. I guess. I don't know. That's what they say. That's what they claim anyway. But it seems like this fight is going to be much better than the last one because they actually know a thing or two about what they're doing now. The only problem I have is the fucking press conference. I watched the latest one that was just done on the 7th there, the 7th. And fuck me, is it ever goddamn cringy. It's so unbelievably cringy. Everything they say, no one is like cheering or clapping. At one point, Logan gets up. Well, when Logan gets up on the stage to have his turn to speak, he's like, the first thing he says is, I don't have a lot to say, blah, blah, blah. Does anybody have any, can anybody give me some questions so I can get this thing started? and literally no one says anything, and it's dead air, and then he's like, really, no fucking questions? And still nobody gives him a question. It's just fucking awkward. I should have fucking put some timestamps in. Fuck, what was I thinking? But then you know, they're like having the stare down, and they're just like whispering to each other for what feels like 5 minutes, and then KSI just pushes Logan, and he's like, "Oh, was there a mosquito in the room?" It's just so fucking cringy. As much as I like the guy, they don't. They're bad at these press conferences. The press conferences are huge and well done and well put together by the DAZN or whatever, DAZN, but they're just awkward to watch. Very, very, very awkward. And then KSI says something like, "I put my blood, sweat, and tears into this," and then Logan's like, "I thought you said you don't bleed." And he's like, "What? I thought you said you don't bleed." And he's like, "I don't." And he's like, "Well, how do you put your blood, sweat, and tears if you don't bleed?" He's like, "Internal blood." And then Logan goes, "What's 11 times 11? That's just... It's too awkward. I can't even watch it. It's not done properly. It's not like watching fucking Conor McGregor up there. He knows what he's doing. It's just so awkward, but his podcast is not awkward at all. So go watch that. So I actually have a little clip here. KSI was getting interviewed, and something happened. So let's just watch.
Now that camp's over, I'm ready, and now I can start the shit talking again. So as soon as I start, he stops. So says it all, really.
You're pretty good at the trash talk. I gotta hand it to you.
Yeah.
So, you're a pussy. What just happened? There he is, right
Hey,
there.
what's up, bro? Okay, man. Wait till Saturday, bro.
You're a pussy.
Wait till Saturday.
Okay.
Now that camp's over.
That wasn't cringy at all. I thought that was kind of funny. It's cringy on KSI's part because KSI is like talking about shit talking, and the girls interviewing him is like, "You're actually a pretty good shit talker," and he's like, "Well, yeah, you know, now that I can shit talk, I'm gonna be all about it." And then Logan pokes his head out, and he's like, "You're a pussy, you're a pussy." He's got a little smile on his face, and KSI doesn't even say anything. He doesn't say anything. It's just all around awkward. I feel like if they're going to do this, they should just go all in, say whatever the fuck is on their mind, and just, you know? There's too much awkward silence, and there's too many awkward comebacks because they're obviously nervous being on stage, you can tell. So... They should have practiced or something, or learned from the last time they did it. Because even last year during the press conference, it was even awkwarder. Is that a word? Awkwarder? Aquaman. I need more sound bites. I need more fucking sound bites. I need more fucking sound bites. Sound bites. Sound bites. I need a sound bite. Okay, one more thing about Logan Paul here. They're fighting in the Staples Center, okay? The Staples Center. Now, people have already talked about this. H3 has already talked about it, but I'm going to touch on it a little bit here, okay? Okay? How many minutes are we in? 23. The Staples Center. Okay, so here's a zoomed in look here. We've got the ring right here. This is where they're fighting. Boppity boopity. This is where they're fighting. And this is where the media goes. You see this? So all the cameras, all the photographers, they're taking pictures this way. They're right next to the ring. They're snapping schnooples. Okay. Now the Staples Center, if you don't know, which you should know, it's a popular place. All kinds of events happen there. Major events, major UFC events. And Logan and KSI are there. Now, if we just zoom out here and take a look-see. Look how big it is. You see that? That's a big fucking arena. I don't remember how many it holds. But let's just take a look here. So see all this gray area. All this gray area. This is all of the sold tickets. Okay? All this blue, still open. Not a single ticket seat sold. So, what we're seeing is that people are just buying the cheap tickets, because these are all the cheap tickets. You start to come in closer to the ring, that's when it starts getting expensive. Upwards of $500 to fucking $5,000. Who knows? I don't know, but it's expensive. And even on the outer edges, we still got some seats available out here. So I'm wondering, the day of the fight, which is Saturday, for me, tomorrow, I don't know when I'm uploading this, but are these seats going to get sold? And if they don't, I mean, we got the media right here, so they're going to be taking pictures and video, and there's going to be empty seats. You're not going to see these people up here. So it's going to be like they're fighting without an audience. Although they did sell a lot. This is still a lot of seats that they sold, but it's not. You want people around the ring, my dudes. They don't have it. Mike from Impulsive Podcast and his own show, Night Shift. He doesn't want Logan to continue boxing. He wants him to keep his fucking fingers in the YouTube community, and he even said music. I don't know, man. Look, I definitely think Logan needs to stay in the online media world through videos and whatnot. But I don't know about the music thing. But as for the boxing thing, I don't know, man. Because Logan kind of seems like he wants this now. He's actually dedicating himself to it. He's not going to parties. He's not even having sex with women. Because he wants that testosterone. But the thing with boxing is that brain damage. Pussy! You can end up with brain damage. Brain damage. Maybe he wants that. Maybe he wants brain damage. Maybe he needs a brain. So yeah, there's not a lot I gotta say more about Logan Paul. Are you gonna watch the fight? Are you gonna go to the Staples Center and watch the Logan Paul fight? And are you voting for Logan Paul or are you voting for KSI? I'll tell you this: the first time I knew they were fighting, I was on KSI's side just for the fact that, I wasn't. I had no use for Logan Paul.
I Jerusalem så är idag mer än hälften av alla förskolebarn